They did a short little black and white video of the Acclaimed making fun of Sting and Darby Allin in a car and
Did you see the rap?
falling down and with the rap on the entrance.
No, well, last week they put out an actual music video.
Oh, okay, I think I skipped that.
It was really good. I know you're not a big rap fan, but the lyrics are clever and it's about what's going on. I don't know what they can do. And of course, they're not the Midnight Express in the ring. But they have something with the Acclaimed, depending on how they use them.
Yeah.
And what they do. But if you saw that rap video, him and Bowens come across like bigger stars, I think, than a lot of the guys in that tag team division.
Well, that wouldn't be hard, but at the same time, I see what you're talking about. And yes, and Castor is funny and witty with the raps, and they have size, and they look like athletes. And, you know, the video that they did here was funny, and the entrance and the rap was good. Again, the problem is they could be one of the few shining spots of the tag team division, but they're presented as idiots and flunkies, and they never win shit. They just go out and they're allowed to, you know, stir people up with the rap, and then they get the shit kicked out of them. Because there's no coherent plan for anybody here. He looks at a list of names, I guess, he gets every week, and okay, well, I'll make matches. This was supposed to be the Acclaimed against Sting and Darby Allin. And Sting and Darby do their big entrance, and the Acclaimed jump them from behind, and they have a fight on the floor. And they put they horse collar Darby Allin with a chair around his neck and then run him into the ring post, run the chair into the post so it hits his neck and he's down. And the doctor comes to check on him and everything comes to a halt. And then the announcers say, well, the bell hasn't rung yet. Like it would now. But guess what? It did. Sting is going to have to go it alone. Why? Because that's the way Tony wanted it. There was no reason given. Darby Allin is taken to the back and Sting starts beating up both heels. There was no reason for him to continue. Let me explain the psychology. When the babyface wants to or has to go it alone. This has been done before many times in wrestling, where the heels will take out one of the babyface members of a tag team if it's a title match, the babyface of the champions. We did it with the Rock and Roll Express when they lost the titles to Tully and Arn. It was the Midnight that came out and jumped Ricky Morton and hurt him on the floor. And the heels, Tully and Arn, couldn't be disqualified because the match hadn't started and they didn't have anything to do with us. We did it because we were mad at them. And then, unfortunately, because they were committed to the title match, the verdict was given that they have to either forfeit the belts or defend the belts. And so then Robert Gibson said, I'll go it alone. And he did until finally they were about to beat him and Ricky runs out and they still lose. But now the baby faces are mad at the Midnight for causing the loss and Tully and Arn are new champions. But this is the Acclaimed. They have not been built up as the next challengers for the World Tag Team Championship. There's no title on the line here. Yes, they've roughed Sting and Darby up in the past, but what the fuck? There's no reason why in this case, after the heels jumped Darby and hurt him, why Sting wouldn't maybe jump on him there and try to defend his guy, but they wouldn't just start the match. There was no title on the line. There was no... What's the word I'm searching at? There was no jeopardy or no penalty to the baby faces. They weren't going to lose a belt. They weren't going to lose a shot at a title. They weren't going to lose a major amount of money. What they did was an angle to come back with a match later instead of an angle to start a match. If they'd have done that and Sting had to run them off and Darby had been selling, and ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to wait until Darby's able to do this, and they book it for 2 weeks down the road, and then they can promo it. Now we're going to get you when we're looking at you face-to-face, you assholes, instead of you jumping us from behind, whatever. But as it was here, Sting, and bless him, for being 62, he's doing a lot of shit. But this didn't do the Acclaimed any favors. Sting had to beat up both guys, Then they had to get heat on him, through a break, and then on the other side of the break, by the time that he starts bowing up a little bit, hit a double clothesline, put the Scorpion on Caster, Bowens hit him with a super kick, and then Sting goes to the floor, and they hit Sting with the boom box. They take forever to set up a double suplex or double something with Sting on the stairs, on the floor where the referee is just standing there doing nothing. And Jim Ross says, well, it seems like they've been outside for a while. And then as they're setting this up, Darby reappears out of nowhere with a flying tackle and saves Sting. He's recovered from the hospitalization angle they did 10 minutes ago. And now Darby makes a comeback, but then they took back over on Darby. Even this, the misplaced routine that they're doing here where the psychology doesn't work, they never take back over on the fucking guy that they goddamn had eliminated before that comes back. Oh my God. So then they took back over on Darby, and Sting had to make another comeback. And he, by this time, looked like death warmed over. Because he's 62. And then he's got to make another comeback and then go out to the stage and dive off the stage and put Caster through a table with a splash. They're determined to kill Sting. I'm not talking about killing his gimmick. I'm talking about killing him physically.
Yeah, that splash was pretty rough to watch.
There was no reason to do that. And then Darby wins with a coffin drop. So the guy, they did the angle to take the babyface out so the babyface team could conceivably lose. And then they came back and put the babyface team over anyway. That angle has never been done before ever in wrestling where the babyfaces end up coming back and winning. Because it's stupid. I couldn't believe it. So they did all that. And then they come back and he beats them. 1, 2, 3, they're off the air. That was brutal. What were the ratings start to finish? How did anybody sit through this? I said this last week, and they didn't lose nearly what I thought they would. I can't believe they got away with it twice in a row.
No, they have their audience, and their audience will stick with them, although some people may be falling asleep as we get closer to the 10 o'clock hour, as I do. January 19th, Dynamite, 1,032,000 viewers.
So really, no drop from last week?